Hi guys, today we're going to react to Bestie by Band-Maid. This is a buy me a coffee request from Dan W60. Thank you, Dan, for yet another request. Band-Maid.
Awesome. Thank you, Dan. We appreciate the request. We appreciate the support, and we appreciate having another look at Band-Maid, especially with their most recent track, I believe, co-produced with Mike Einziger from Incubus. I think he is the guitarist and one of the founders of the band. Lyrics by Miku. Let's see what this is all about.
Trying to recall when was the last time we listened to a Band-Maid song that was this far off their usual frequency and rhythm and pace, and even the visuals. It's like a mellower presentation. Aside for Akane, who brings in a strong rhythm that kind of screams Band-Maid, the entire song is mellower. It's like caressing like a feather. It of course correlates to their attire, the way they look. They don't usually look like that. And Psyche seems calmer, gentler in her presentation. It's all, of course, deliberate. I would recognize it's Band-Maid right away because Psyche's voice is so recognizable, but it's in a different frequency than what they usually do. I love it, of course. It's another way to look at them, to listen to them. It's been a little while since we reacted to a music video of theirs, another live performance. Love it.
Because this is so kind of new as far as Band-Maid, this is very different to their other stuff. I found myself concentrating a little bit more, trying to work out what I'm feeling, what I'm hearing. It took me to different places. It reminded me of several songs we've reacted to sort of recently, I guess. And it seems that some of the Japanese bands are making a movement towards some kind of mainstream, where I think it's to try to capitalize on sort of a more Western audience, to get out of Japan, which is what us and everybody else has been saying, you know, who loves this music, that they should do. And this is another case of that. This song is a lot more mainstream than anything else that they've done before. And it's mostly, if not all of it, is in English so far. And Psyche's English is not perfect by any means, but it's actually not bad. Like I can understand most of it. So I'm on board with this, especially for a first song that is almost entirely in English. But that kind of reminded me of what I was saying recently about Dimbres, where there I thought it worked against them. Here, I don't think it works against Band-Maid so much.
Yeah.
But it also reminded me of Nemophila's Odyssey, where there it was also a blatant move towards some kind of a mainstream feel, to capitalize on that kind of audience, to make some sort of a change in direction potentially, or add a direction. I think that's what Band-Maid is doing here. So far, I'm liking it, but I'm sort of somewhere in the middle. I love this band, I love the girls, and I'm still kind of taken aback a little bit because it's so different. different. The song reminds me of something as well, and I can't put my finger on it. It's sort of on the tip of my tongue or on the tip of my brain as far as the beat and something about the way it's structured, the chorus. But look, they're great. They're always great. Psyche sounds fantastic. I love Miku's backing vocals, and as always, she's just fantastic. Again, like you said, Akane on the drums does her thing. I'm pretty sure we're still gonna hear something from Kanami. I get a feeling that there is sort of the obligatory guitar solo at some point. There must be, because of, again, the sort of structure of this song. And, Misa, always fantastic. So we know that this song was produced with Mike from Incubus. So we probably, to some extent, expected it to go somewhere in this direction. I mean, Incubus are a rock band, but they are very much sort of a mainstream sound. I love Incubus, by the way, great band. So I'm not sure exactly, how I feel about this change for Band-Maid, but at the same time, I do like the song so far. It's a great direction for them. Like, I think the video clip is cleaner than usual, something about, but we don't do Band-Maid official videos usually. We do the lives.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
So it might be different if this was a live, but it looks good. It's a change that will take some getting used to, but I'm not hating it.
I think we may have not thought of it when we were first exposed to it with Nemophila's Odyssey. These bands, they're trying to address a new audience, and they know it's a new audience. They know that they might have to adjust their approach. So I think what we're witnessing here is their experimental stage, at least here. To my knowledge, it's not something that they have been doing for long. Band-Maid and what we know of Dim Rays and Nemophila. Odyssey still stands out of almost everything we did of Nemophila. It's a process. We're not witnessing something that they've decided and it's going to be forever like that. They're trying to probably cater to a new audience, and they're learning as we are witnessing them doing these songs. So we're actually not seeing them as seasoned as we would like to see them when they address a Western audience. But I think we're going to be very pleasantly surprised with future entries of theirs.
And as I said, we've expressed this in the past that they should do this. They should go with songs in English if they can, and sort of attack Western audiences so that they can become aware of what they do.
And for a long while, after having reacted to Japanese bands, keeping in mind that we're talking about groups of people who are world-class musicians and singers, they're bound to grab the attention of other like-minded people from the industry, from the West. We couldn't possibly think that musicians in the West and people who promote music in the West and people who produce music in the West would not take notice of Band-Maid and Nemophila and Love Bites and Dim Rays and other bands like that, because they see the potential there. So it's not surprising that this collaboration takes place.
I think I've discussed this before, but yeah, it's a matter of exposure. They need to be exposed to audiences need to be exposed to them. And to get there, they need to do songs more in this direction to kind of, in a way, fit with other bands. I know that now Band-Maid are going to be supporting Incubus in their Japan tour.
They're going to be opening for them.
So so in order to do that, you need to at least a little bit kind of mix in with that audience and give them something similar to that. It always weirds me out when you have a band opening for another band whose music is completely different and there's nothing that crosses over. Obviously, in Japan, this will be less of an issue because it's in Japan, but what if Incubus will take Band-Maid to tour with them in other countries? Stylistically, they match. It's just a matter of also speaking the language a little bit towards the audience. So while introducing the audience to songs in Japanese by Band-Maid, you need to throw in a few songs in English to kind of lubricate the audience a little bit early on or something like that. And again, I'm all for it. I think with Nemophila, it may have taken me a bit more by surprise. And also what surprises me, but also doesn't surprise me, is how familiar these songs sound. So I think they're using some kind of existing formula, or they're working with producers from the West who are basically just kind of fitting them into a style that exists, that they know works, that they know an audience will respond to. But what I want to hear is, I want to hear these Japanese bands push this further and then make their own songs to those audiences later on, which is going to be amazing, I think. But you gotta get your foot through the door with something that the audience will know and understand and will respond to. And I think this is one of those. And again, to me, because we are from the West, sort of Western music, Western culture, and all the rest of it, I can understand this song and everything that it comes with it and I can pop along to it, no problem.
Yeah.
Do I love it as much as other Band-Maid songs? Maybe, maybe not. It might take some getting used to. But I still love it. As you said, they are world-class musicians, and I know this from knowing
Yeah.
their music from before. So this is a good thing, and I think they should keep pushing this.
Yeah, there's something to be said when you realize that these bands are trying to adjust their act, trying to adjust their tone, their frequency to a certain audience. So when you look at it from at first impression, you go, why should they adjust themselves? They should just find the audience who like their music as it is. But you said it a second ago. You said they need to put the foot in the door. So
Yeah.
I think I enjoy thinking about like Band-Maid is in a positive way. They're like fashioning a Trojan horse. It's good. Yeah, you like this music? Now we're gonna give you our stuff, and we're gonna get you hooked on our stuff. I enjoy thinking about it like that, not just from Band-Maid's type of music, but also Love Bites, other bands.
Yeah. I mean, they could get in with this type of music that will get them in, and then once they're on stage, if they do even songs in Japanese, I think it'll blow audiences' minds.
Yeah.
As it did with us. And the fact that they have Mike Einziger here, who is actually pushing them towards his audience, Incubus's audience, and all that, that is a massive thing that could help a lot. Because Incubus's audience, while it's not as big as it used to be, it's still there. And for the most part, it's a little bit older. But he, over the years, has collaborated with many, many artists, like Pharrell Williams and Avicii and all kinds. He's produced for them and all the rest of it. So it's across genres and across age groups.
Yeah.
And a lot of these songs were pretty big mainstream hits. Yeah. So hopefully, go Band-Maid.
It turns into something else, not just a profession or a passion for music. I'm talking about Mike Einziger. It's like almost like a calling. He's bridging between cultures by doing that, by collaborating with so many artists.
Let's hope.
Beautiful.
Something that I only noticed now in the second half of the song is that they're not wearing their maids' uniforms. I did like this new look for them because at first I was more listening. I wasn't really paying attention to the visuals as much, and I didn't notice, but in the second half, I could barely recognize Konami. I've never seen her with a hair like that, and it's a good look for her. I like it. And also, even though it's such a small sample here, it's another reminder. Konami is a guitar goddess. One of the best I've ever seen. Just amazing.
I was visibly amused, smiling when she went into her solo, because I pictured director of photography going like this. when she went into her soul. What is that?
I
Wow.
consider, yeah, yeah.
And also Psyche, when she performs live in her Psyche attire, we see her electrified. She's like, I said it before about a different band, but she's like a Mr. Hyde in the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And here she's Dr. Jekyll. Here she's mellower. She's like a fairy. It's like a cleaner look. Like for a second, is that Psyche? Yeah, it's Psyche, but it's a different Psyche. I like this Psyche too.
Yeah, and they all look beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just something that might take a little bit of getting used to. They look different, they sound different, but I do like this direction for them, and I know that even within this direction, there's going to be some more rockin' songs. You know, I don't think Band-Maid's just going to go all like soft all over. You know what I mean? This song sort of necessitated this kind of look to the video clip and everything else. I was going to say though about Kanami, there's something about the way that they show her when she goes into her solos, and it's usually some kind of they sort of open up the frame and it's kind of a silhouette of her, and her mannerisms, her body language when she plays, I would recognize her anywhere, and it looks so cool. She is incredible. But again, they all are. I just love this band.
I think we're gonna hear a lot of them as the years progress. They're Hall of Fame material.
I hope they do. I like, succeed in this crossover and become, a household name, because at the moment, obviously, they're not. More so in Japan and a little bit out of Japan, but it's just so much fun, and like you said, world-class musicians.
Yeah,
Just
that's
amazing.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Because they're world-class musicians, they probably also possess the ability to adjust to different audiences and captivate them. It's reassuring to think about them in that way. If anybody can do it, it's them.
Going into the lyrics just kind of briefly, because this song is fairly self-explanatory. I mean, it's like an ode to your best friend.
Yeah.
Your bestie, basically speaking from the perspective of loyalty, and we'll always be friends. And, basically this whole thing about my best friend and I are basically like family, can't separate us. It's really like an ode to that. And I love the sentiment. It's pretty cool. It's something that probably works best sort of between girls, I'll say, females, women, because I've never heard a guy call his best friend his bestie.
I think it's the willingness to emote. I think guys have it too, but yeah, I agree with what you say in that fashion.
Yeah, like even though the song is probably written from one girl, one woman, whatever, to another, I could still relate, on the level of closeness, of friendship, and that love and trust and loyalty and all the rest of it. And this was written by Miku, and the English, and it works. It's all there, because this is from the new album. So I'm really excited to know what the rest of the album is going to sound like, where else they're going to go with this whole English thing. And I don't know, I just want them to go as far as possible, because they can. And I'm looking for this Japanese invasion that's coming soon to the rest of the world. So
I enjoyed thinking about that person who not only is your best friend, but this type of person has seen you at your worst, and they have your back at all times. So they have imprinted on you.
So from Miku's standpoint, I think this is actually meant to come from one band member to the next. This is all between them. This is they're all besties, because there's a line there that kind of took me to that. So let's face the ups and downs together. Years from now, I'll still be doing this with you. I felt like this is talking about music, about Band-Maid, about the band. They've had their ups and downs. They still will have more. And it's just always amazing to see. We've always talked about the camaraderie between them and the way they look on stage, how they give each other that place to shine.
Anything in our lives that means more Band-Maid is great. With respect to that, to what they do, and the fact that they at least from the song, planning on doing this for years to come.
Thank you, Dan W60. We appreciate it, Dan, as always, for the support, and also for always including Band-Maid, well, not always, but almost always, including a Band-Maid song in your requests. We love this band. Keep them coming. Thanks again.
Yeah, thanks, Dan, for yet another Band-Maid request. We enjoyed reacting to the song very much. It's a new direction, and we can't wait to see what they're going to do next. Thanks. Keep them coming, please. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click the little bell icon so you'll get notified on all our future videos. If you have a request you'd like bumped up the line, please make it through Buy Me a Coffee. All contributions are, of course, very much appreciated. Thank you all for sticking with us. Thank you all for your time.
Thanks again, guys. Check out our Band-Maid playlist. Should be showing up on the screen at some point around now. As always, we are now making a push to increase subscribers, so please click that button. We're trying to get to 5,000 at the moment. And we appreciate the support as always. We'll be back in a couple of days with a new episode, and we hope to see you all then. Thanks again, guys. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.